Moving on to week 3, session 1. The warm-up's going to be a 5-minute jog to obviously raise pulse and get him ready for the session. And then he's going to foam roller to remove scar tissue and basically release tension from the muscles so that he's ready for the session. So moving on to the main content, it's going to be a 10k run at 65% maximum heart rate. The intensity is lower because it's a 10k run instead of a 5k run, and this is relevant to my client's goals. He wants to improve his fitness, and staying at a 5k run is not going to improve his fitness. It's going to keep it at the same level. So you need to progressively overload them with different things to do, with harder tasks. So that's why I've included the 10k run. So moving on to the cool down, he's going to walk on the balls and toes of his feet and do simple static stretches like toe touch and wall sits. And this is just going to return his body to his pre-exercise state, remove waste products, and basically delay the onset of muscle soreness. So week 3, session 2, warm-up is going to be resistance bands. He's going to do these exercises with them on: Superman, frog squat, plank jacks, jumping jacks, and wide side steps. Basically, it's just going to be around his legs, and with his leading leg, he'll be pushing against the resistance band. It's going to make his muscles ready for the exercise. This warm-up is important because his muscles need to be warm and pliable for the session, so there's a reduced risk of muscle tear or injury, and also it's going to raise his pulse rate as well, so that his blood's flowing around his body. He's ready for the session. So moving on to the main content. The main content is HIIT training. So in the HIIT training, it's going to be single leg burpees, tuck jumps, Supermans with lateral raises, lateral lunges with hops, and mountain climbers. I forgot to say on the warm-up, he needs to do 20 sets of each of these twice before he can continue to the main content. And in the main content, he's going to do each of these exercises that I just listed for a minute. If this is too easy, I'm going to change it to a minute and 30 seconds. Completely high intensity, so as many as you can in the minute, and then he gets 30 seconds rest while I'll demonstrate the next exercise. So moving on to the cool down, it's going to be foam rolling, and then plus some stretches such as lunges, marches, knee pull, quad pull, and then just finally walking around to keep the blood circulating the body. So week 3, session 3, warm up. It's going to be 5 minutes on the elliptical at 55% maximum heart rate, and this is just going to prepare him. He's going to get his heart rate higher. It's going to be pumping blood around his body. It's also going to, it's just going to make his muscles more warm and pliable, so that when he's actually doing when he's lifting the weights, he's not going to rip or tear any muscles, causing injury to himself. So moving on to the main content. It's going to be 10 reps of each exercise for 3 sets at 75% of his 1 rep max. So these are the exercises: leg press, squat, deadlift, front squat, Bulgarian split squat, dumbbell lunge, machine squat. All of these are going to be working his leg muscles on different areas of the leg. So basically, this is going to help his overall goal of his fitness, because he's going to be able to perform at a higher level when doing exercises. When doing exercises, if his muscles are stronger in his legs and his body, he's obviously going to be able to continue the exercises for longer. He's not going to experience as much fatigue because there's going to be hypertrophy in his muscles. So moving on to the cool down, it's going to be 5 minutes on a bike at 55% of his maximum heart rate. This is just to remove waste products, keep blood circulating around his body so that the waste product can be removed, and therefore delaying the onset of muscle soreness. So he's healthy for future sessions. So moving on to week 4, session 1, the warm-ups. It's going to be weight circuit again. So the warm-up's going to be high knees, bum kicks, lunges, marches, sweeps, sits, hips, and karaoke. This is just going to get his muscles warm, obviously, going to get his heart rate high, the blood circulating in his body, so that he doesn't cause an injury to himself during the actual session. So the main content, it's going to be core weight training. So each of these, he's going to do 20 reps, 2 sets. So weighted crunch, tuck and crunch, V-sit, hanging leg raise, and hanging knee raise twist. And then all of these are working on his core. And the core is quite important to build because obviously once you're, a lot of exercises require a strong core to actually carry out and do them well. So if you've got a strong core, it's going to make other exercises much easier for the client. And then the cool down is going to be 5 minutes on the treadmill and then foam roller. And this is obviously the 5 minutes on the treadmill is to keep the blood circulating in the body to remove waste product, and then the foam roller is to remove tension that's built up and scar tissue that's built up during the session. So week 4, session 2, warm up, resistance bands. He's going to squat, side step, press up, jog. He's going to try and jog away from me while I hold the resistance band. It's going to be around his waist. So it's obviously going to be hard. And plank jacks. That's where he's just jumping. He's in a plank position, and he's jumping. I don't know how to explain that. Okay, that one's hard to explain, but I'll demonstrate it to the client so he knows what to do. Okay, moving on to the main content. The lateral lunge switch. These are all HIIT training exercises. So the warm up was important because obviously while using the resistance bands, you've got to work quite hard. Your muscles have got to become warm to actually carry out those exercises. So it's going to prepare him for the main content, which is going to be HIIT training, obviously, which is high intensity interval training. So he's got to be warm. He's got to be prepared for it. So each of these he's going to do for a minute, and then he's going to repeat the whole circuit once after the initial run through. This is because in the previous HIIT sessions I've only done one circuit training because he's not used to it, but now that his body's been adapting to against resistance, he should be able to. This should be easier for him, so I want to push him even more. So the exercises consist of lateral lunge switch, pistol squat, tuck jump, burpees with tuck jump, Russian twists, and Superman with lateral raises. So once again, HIIT training's been proven to be a very effective method of training your cardiovascular system and increasing your aerobic capacity. So obviously this links to my client's main goal, which was to improve his fitness. So cool down, walk while performing these stretches such as sweeps, lunges, shoulder stretch, tiptoe and balls of the feet, sits, quad pulls and knee pull. And then this needs to be done while walking because obviously while moving your the blood is circulating. If you're standing up, it's easier for the blood to circulate the body. Okay, moving on to week 4, session 3, Warm up, it's going to be bicycle into light jog at 50% of the maximum heart rate. So the bicycle stretches are going to be kneeling hip flexor stretch, pyramid pose, garland pose, downward facing dog, upward facing dog. Each of these needs to be held for 30 seconds. The warm up will last about 5 minutes. This is just to warm up the muscles and raise the heart rate. So moving on to the main content, it's going to be a 5 kilometre run at 80% maximum heart rate for high intensity training. Now this is because in the past I've done 10 kilometre runs, 5 kilometre runs at 65 to 70% and 75%. But because of the training that he's been going through, he should be able to keep 80% as a steady. He should be able to keep this a steady state exercise. So keep 80% maximum heart rate throughout the whole thing, and it's going to be high intensity. So it's going to push his muscles more, and a higher amount of adaptations will take place in his body to improve his fitness. So the cool down, it's going to mimic the main content. It's going to be a jog at low intensity into a walk. This is just to keep the blood circulating so that the waste product can be removed. Moving on to week 4, Week 4, session 4. Warm up on the elliptical to warm leg muscles up, 5 minutes at 50% maximum heart rate. As I said, warming the leg muscles up so that they're ready to be used in the main session. So the main content: leg press, deadlift, leg press. Oh, done it twice. Leg press, deadlift, Olympic lifts, hack squat, alternating lunges. So then he's going to run through that twice. He's going to do 15 reps on each one of those. That's 75% of his 1 rep max. This is obviously just improving his overall body strength, his muscle strength in the body, so that when he's performing exercise, it's much more easy. He can do it with more confidence. He can perform at a higher level. So the cool down will be static stretches, toe touches, groin stretch, quad stretch, hamstring stretch, lunge, tricep stretch. Each of these should be held for 30 seconds each. So, week 5, session 1, it's going to be rowing. So the main content is rowing for 25 minutes, 65% of his maximum heart rate with moderate resistance. Because obviously with rowing machines you can change the resistance, and so you can have moderate resistance depending on what brand the rowing machine is and so on. The resistance will be different. So he's going to have moderate resistance, so somewhere in the middle. This is going to push him. It's going to make the session more intense. So that's the main content. That links to my client's goals. Is obviously 25 minutes at 65% maximum heart rate is using the aerobic respiration system, so that the aerobic respiration system will adapt under the resistance of the rowing machine. So I warm up dynamic stretches, so marches, lunges, kicks, sits, squats, page turns and scorpion. So the page turns and scorpion are static stretches to do at the start, and then go into the dynamic stretches. This is obviously to warm up the muscles, raise the heart rate, prepare for the session. So cool down, it's going to be 5 minutes of rowing, and this is because the rowing's mainly going to use his arms, so the static stretches for the arms are quite limited. Stretches for arms are quite limited. So there's tricep stretch, shoulder stretch that he can carry out, but he can roll his arms to remove the tension and scar tissue that's built up. So week 5, session 2, main content is going to be 35 minutes on stationary bike, 65% maximum heart rate. This is obviously, once again, linking to my client's main goal is improve his aerobic capacity, because it's continuous training, continuous aerobic training at a steady state, so his body will adapt and become more accustomed to this work rate. So the warm-up's going to be light cycling for 4 minutes to raise pulse, and then also he can stay on the bike to do the main session. So he's going to go straight from the warm-up into the session, because the aerobic respiration system will be used. It would have been ready by the time he starts cycling properly. Whereas if he just got on the bike without warming up, he would have had to use other energy systems first. Whereas if he's had time to warm up, the aerobic respiration system would be ready. So the cool down is going to be slow cycling to minute the session, keep blood flowing. So he's going to be slow cycling at about 50% of his maximum heart rate for 3 or 4 minutes, just to keep the blood circulating and remove the waste product from the body. Right, week 5, session 3. Main content is going to be a weight circuit, and it's going to be the core again. So this, once again, is justified because my client needs to improve his overall body strength. So these are the exercises he's going to do: V6 crunches, weighted crunches, leg raises, medicine ball side to side when in a crunch position, leg raises side to side, plank and weighted plank. And then each of these are going to be done for 20 reps of 2 sets. Warm-up's going to be a pulse raiser on the rowing machine for 5 minutes, just so his body's ready, his muscles are ready, so they're not torn. And the cool down is going to be using a stepping machine to remove waste products from the body afterwards, because walking obviously you're keeping the blood circulating.